Hello friends, Tim here again with another quick video game countdown type thing. Gaming accessories can be a lot of fun if they are done right. They can add that extra level of immersion that can make you really feel a part of the game. Today we aren't talking about the good ones though. Today we are talking about terrible gaming peripherals. So without further delay, here are 10 of the most terrible gaming accessories. Number 10. Gameboy printer and camera. First off, I have to admit that at the time of the release I dearly wanted a Game Boy camera and printer, but it's probably better that my parents didn't give in to my pleas because, well, let's face it, they weren't that good. The concept was cool and the technology was something at the time, but with pictures ending up a royal pixelated mess, you would have better luck seeing something coherent in tea leaves. Number 9. DKbongo drums. Don't get me wrong, I love the idea of wailing on some DKbongos in some Donkey Konga, but these might not have been the best video game peripheral in town. The small set of bongos contained a microphone that would capture your claps for the rhythm game, but unfortunately that's about all you could do with this accessory. More games were promised to use the bongos, but nothing ever saw a release on the GameCube or beyond. Number 8. Skyrider Stick Station. The 80s were a simpler time. Back then you could claim a hunk of wood with a square cut into it was a video game accessory. So what is it? Quite simply, it's an Atari 2600 controller holder. It turned that handy handheld controller into a bulky, hard-to-use piece of video gaming equipment. Who this was meant to help out I'm not sure exactly, but it sure was some video game peripheral. Number 7. Sega Activator. During the peak of fighting game hysteria, Sega released a new controller for the Mega Drive/Genesis. This time the player would stand in an octagonal ring and interrupt sensors with your hand or foot instead of mash buttons. The idea itself is actually pretty awesome, except it came packed with a few flaws. It was tough to set up, required a nice flat roof, and it was expensive. It also had the downside of only allowing one button activated at a time, which meant if you wanted to jump and fire at the same time, well, too bad. You should have thought of that before buying the Activator. Number 6. Roland Rocker. This fancy foot-powered controller may appear to be the most happening control pad of its time, but what if I told you it was an LJN toy? Before the Wii balance board was a thing, you could hook this bad boy up to your NES and rock back and forwards to control the game. It sounds good in theory, but imagine rocking your body weight back and forward tediously as you make your way through something like Super Mario Bros. It's no fun. Number 5. Nintendo Rob the Robot. Short for Robotic Operating Buddy, Rob the Robot was released in 1985. Reacting to light flashes on your TV like the Nintendo Zapper, using this accessory you could play 2 different games, Dynamite and Stack Up. Unsurprisingly, this limited number of compatible games gave Rob a short product lifespan. It also makes this one of the more useless video game accessories on this list, but I still wouldn't mind one in my collection one day. Number 4. Nintendo Power Glove. When it made its fleeting appearance in The Wizard, it looked like the coolest thing ever. A glove with a controller in it? Now you're playing with power. Unfortunately, the idea of an NES controller mounted on a glove didn't take off. It could have been because the triangulation technology didn't really work, or it may just have been that the core idea was bad, but either way this high-tech looking glove was a major flop for Nintendo. Number 3. Wiimote Accessories. After its 2006 release, the Wiimote received a lot of attention. Its innovative gameplay made the system perfect for sports games. It might have helped that the system was packaged with Wii Sports, but shortly after its release, peripheral makers went into a frenzy of creation, putting out golf clubs, tennising out tennis rackets, and anything else you can think of. These accessories may have looked the part, but they did nothing to add to the gameplay. Number 2. Nyko Hip Klip. Right up there with the pocket protector, the hip clip for the Game Boy Color is a must-have for anyone who enjoys nerd accessories. The ironically named hip clip mounts onto your belt so you can store your Game Boy for easy access, all whilst making a personal statement about your gamer status. This gaming accessory is perfect for when you need to whip it out for a quick game of Mario on the run, but it's still pretty terrible. Number 1. Konami Laser Scope. This awful video game accessory almost takes the cake. The Konami Laser Scope is best described as a kind of helmet with a crosshair over one eye, and a microphone that was meant to respond to the player yelling fire. It's basically a fancy set of headphones and an NES light gun with a voice-activated trigger. Unfortunately, the microphone was of poor quality and responded to just about anything, with even background noise firing your gun. Add to that you had to wear some serious gaming headgear making you look quite the fool, but other than that this gaming accessory was the bee's knees. Previously on Mario Mayhem. If you could add a new drug to any game, what would it be called? Today the Luigi clap goes to October Raven for this wacky pokey LSD idea. It seems fitting as I hear old October Raven sees and trains imaginary Pokemon already. So that's pretty good as well as this comment. And today we'll leave you with the question, if you could create a lame video game accessory, what would it be? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below and the best most creative answer will be featured in one of our next videos. And that's it for today friends, I hope you enjoyed these terrible video game accessories and things. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, share this video with your friends, keep those comments and likes coming, and I'll catch you soon.